Oi, boys, welcome to another episode in our multi-year career mode playthrough. We're back with the Rugby League World Cup, our playthrough of SAMOA, and it is very winnable, boys, as we take a look at the semi-final fixtures. The biggest upset, as you can see, was in game 1 where Fiji-Bati defeated Australia 24 points to 20, so we'll be taking on them in the first semi, and the winner will take on the winner of the Kiwis and England. As always, boys, shout out to the gang if you're watching us right now. Shout yourselves out in the comment section with a hashtag OddSquad. But yeah, boys, we are 2 games away from the end of our first year in this multi-year career mode. 2 games if we get past Fiji in this match. I know at the start of the World Cup campaign I said our biggest threats outside of our own pool would be Australia, but looking at Fiji's lineup here, they've got a pretty decent team. Obviously no shortage of talent in the back 5. Much like Tonga though, their halves are lacking a bit and they have a pretty solid forward pack as well. Led by Api Koroisa, you've got the Sims brothers in there, you've got the Saifidi brothers in there, Kamikamika, Vili Kikau, and a blast from the past in Aquila Uate. So boys, we just wrapped up round 9. The West Tigers beat the St. George Illawarra Dragons. St. George, man, still as inconsistent as ever, much like the Tigers, but there are a few big topics that I want to kind of go over during this gameplay. As Tarek Sims finds a bit of space around the ruck, shrugs off one defender, it takes 2 to pull him down. They're on our 40, Fiji second, and that should have been a knock on, but it'll be a play on. But yeah, just when I thought my team, the Brisbane Broncos, were in for another hiding, another cricket score being put on them, they turn around and pull off the comeback of doom against the Gold Coast Titans. Tavita Pangai Jr., you know, when he wants to play, man, he can be the best back rower in the league. And I don't think that's much of a hot take, because when he's up against the league's best, Viliame Kikau, when he was up against Jason Taumalolo last season, and just past David Fafita, he shut him down. He shut all 3 of them down. He just lacks consistency, and that's pretty much been the story of his career, as Kevin Naingama steps around Crichton. Luai's there to wrap him up. Speaking of Crichton, how good was he in the game against the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles? As Fatiaki runs it into Vaitala Mariner, it looks like he got it down. This could be the first try for the Fijians here, and it will be Fiji-Bati on the board through Fatiaki. But yeah, Steve Crichton for most of the match, when it looked like Turbo was about to break through the line or get into some open space, Crichton was right there, hard and low, wrapping him up around the legs. It was such a good game to watch, that Penrith and Manly one. And now the Panthers, they've been tested, they've been getting some valuable reps these past few weeks. Faced a bit of adversity these last couple of weeks, and every time they've come out on top. But real quick, back to the Broncos dub. I know we take the mickey out of Jermaine Asako a fair bit. I mean, it's all jokes, there's a little bit of truth to it though, but those first few tries, the positioning was, man, it was tough to watch. Jermaine Asako, he actually came back with a man of the match performance. I still think defensively he's too much of a liability to have at fullback, but in attack, man, he can move. I personally would like to see him on the wing or maybe in the centers. His talent though in attack is undeniable. The man is a weapon in attack. As we look to clear it, Jerome Luai struggling to make meters. We go for the 40-20 and it's a perfect kick. That's just Tavanga here. We'll take the tap. Another thing I wanted to touch on, man, I think I talked about him in the last video, but Sam Walker once again carving up. It was a pretty sad game in the end, to be honest. Seeing Brett Morris, man, that was brutal. Seeing first his reaction to injuring his knee, his immediate reaction, that was hard to watch. That whole thing made that game a little bittersweet, because as of recording, I don't think there's any news on how bad that injury was, as Jerome Luai sizes up the defensive line, swings it wide to David Nofoaluma on the wing, and we sneak into the corner. That was a beauty of a ball, Sam Walker-esque if you will, a little floater out to the wing. And to tie it up, Milf from the sideline, and hits a crossbar challenge kick as he hits the crossbar. Half-time, yet another low-scoring first half of football. We've seen a lot of these as of late, but the games usually pick up in the second half. As we take a look at the stats here, man, we have had almost 80% time in possession, but we just cannot convert it into points. Last tackle for Fiji. They are just inside their half of the field. Cleared by Wakeham, sorry. Oh, I didn't know he was Fijian. I think that's the old mate from the Bulldogs. As Nofoaluma makes a little break, he gets run down. Little. That was about a 40-meter return. We'll be starting our set on the 30. Dunamis Louis gets ironed out. On the 30 here as Milford drops a beautiful short ball. Just a little pop, just a little bloop to Dom Peru. That was a beautiful pass by Milford. Speaking of Milford, I wanted to touch on Milf. His return back to first grade. Pretty decent, yeah, not gonna lie. He's a much better 6 than Croft. I'll say that at least. All respect to Croft, by the way. Back to field the kick. Dunamis Louis running it up once again. That's a much better run by Dunamis. Bumps off one. Wrapped up on the 10. Josh Aloyai had a decent game on the weekend himself for Manly. So we go to Herman Ese. Jerome Luai pulled up just inside the 20. We are making 0 meters. As we swing it wide this time, Anthony Milford can't get around the Fijian centre there. But a familiar play with Aloyai taking it up. We get it out to Luai and he's unable. Tries to get the offload away as well. Just got a little desperate there and we paid the price. Fiji now will be starting to set inside the 30. That's a good ball to Daniel Saifidi. A little bit of an offload to Api Korisau. I don't know how to say it properly, but you know who I'm talking about, boys. That's Tarek Sims. Stopped centimeters out. And it's a forward pass. How unfortunate. Fiji were humming. We enter the final quarter. Jerome Luai again was struggling to make meters, boys. We are inside the 20 kicking. We clear the halfway line, but Micah Sivo will make it around 45 meters out. Really Kikau going for a head up, making some PCMs through the middle of the field, some post-contact meters as Tarek Sims. Man, these players taking the head ups. Daniel Saifidi, just quality in this forward pack. As we try to make changes, that's a good short ball to Corbin Sims. Who was that? It might have been Wakeham. I was trying to rush up and trying to put a big hit on the playmaker. I think it was Wakeham who got that ball off to Corbin, straight through the gap. As Api takes the shot at goal. Fiji up by 2 points. 17 to go. This is reminiscent of our first game against Tonga, where we couldn't really make meters through the middle of the field. We have to try and get it out to our edges, as Fiji come up with a terrible last play. And we'll get the ball just on halfway. Going for the classic face ball, Jerome Luai looking for Crichton. Or Nofo actually. And David makes a couple more meters. Second, Luai, plenty of touches. Tried stepping our way through the middle of the field with Jermaine Isako. Unsuccessful as we shift it. And it's George Taufua finding space. We get around their fullback as well. And George Taufua will get us back on the board. Give us the lead once again. Like I said, we can't make it through the middle. So we're going to throw it out wide and test our luck there, thankfully. Taufua, who's had an outstanding tournament so far, comes up with the meaty as Milford gets us out to a 4-point lead. I'm going to play like an absolute cornball right now and protect this lead. Couple minutes remaining in the match. Big Marty bumps off one, but we are wrapped up inside the 20 as we send it back out to Taufua. Still on the 20 here. Third tackle. Clock winding down, the final seconds of the match. That should be it, and it is. The big lady is airing out her lungs. Full time at Suncorp Stadium for this semi-final. We barely get past Fiji Bati, and we'll advance to the grand final of the Rugby League World Cup. It was a valiant effort by Fiji. They almost got us out of here, but it just wasn't their day, as always. If you enjoyed that and would like to see more Rugby League Live 4 content or more content in general, be sure to run it straight at that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you
Yeah, I'm too
later.
sick with an O flight. Pull rappers on O-shy. Send stabs like OJ. No reply, like that's okay. You can't rap with a hole in your oath, right? I'm a quiet, unless I'm drunk. Demons come out like looking for fun. memories, bruh.